Another day, another Olympic gold medal for Simone Biles.
She wins this individual all-around.
Watching her make history, best ever. She's a champion for a reason.
Simone Biles is one of the most decorated gymnasts in history. With her 11 Olympic and 30 World Championship medals, she is widely considered the greatest gymnast of all time. She is one of the most successful athletes ever, but it turns out she's paid 10 times less than the worst performing driver in Formula 1. Logan Sargent scored one single point for the entire 2023 season. Max Verstappen, for comparison, scored 575 points. Sargent failed to finish 1/3 of the races, and still he makes at least $1 million a year, while Simone Biles is paid only $100,000. But how is it possible? There is a significant financial disparity between athletes in different sports. All these golfers who don't have celebrities visiting specifically their performances on Netflix filming a documentary about them are sponsored by Rolex and earn significantly more than Simone Biles. Today, we are going to dive deep into the economics of sport marketing, uncovering the surprising truth about the $55 billion athletic sponsorship industry, shockingly low salaries, and the strategic wars brands wage on the sporting grounds. I am Lisa, this is Stolbova brand. Ready, set, go!
Three-pointer, bang! Steph Curry drills the three!
Financial structure behind athlete funding involves many businesses with their various goals and stakeholder interests. Some want recognition, some reputation, and others, well, they're just really into sports. But before we jump to the strategic goals brands pursue sponsoring athletes and teams, it's important to understand there are two main sources of income for world-class athletes: their official salary and sponsorship deals. And while financial disparity exists in both, the reasons for it is a bit different. Let's see. Athletes' official salary depends on three main factors: the level they compete at, the budget of the organization they represent, and the popularity of the sport in a particular country. Simone Biles is the top-level gymnast of the US national Olympic team. Then, gymnastics are considered a mainstream sport in the US. Just recently, NBC and Peacock's live broadcast of women's gymnastics team set a total audience record of 34.7 million viewers according to Nielsen, which is pretty decent. It's a quarter of the Super Bowl audience. But the organization responsible for selecting and training gymnasts for the national team, USA Gymnastics, does not have a lot of funding. Here's an official document with funding tiers for the 2023 season, and as you can see, an Olympic medalist gets only $3,000 a month. It is only $36,000 of annual income. Of course, gymnasts get prize money for the World Championship and Olympic victories. That's about an additional $20,000–$30,000 for each golden medal. But it's still not enough. So Simone Biles has a popular sport, she's competing at the highest level, but the governing organization can't sustain the athletes properly. While Logan Sargent does not show any promising results and still gets way more money. Here's an interesting paradox. This year's F1 Miami Grand Prix attracted only 3.1 million TV viewers. That's 10 times less than the gymnastics. But the organizational structure of this sport is designed to be a profitable business. All 10 teams on the grid are mostly the brands in the automotive industry with significant positive revenue. Not being governmental structures dependent on the budget funding, they can afford to offer their drivers contracts with 7–8 figure salaries. But here's the twist. Last year, Forbes reported Simone Biles as the 16th highest paid female athlete with a total income of $7.1 million. Which brings us to the question, where does this money come from and how does it work? Alright, sponsorship deals are the second major source of the elite athlete's income. The value of these deals mostly depend on the core audience of the sport, as well as the personal brand of an athlete. And here's my favorite part. There is such a diversity of brand sponsorships in different sports that it seems like every company, from soft drinks and chips to luxury jewelry, wants to sponsor someone. But of course, they wouldn't do it just for fun. Well, almost no one does that. Companies do it for strategic reasons, and here are top 3 strategies for businesses sponsoring elite athletes. First, the most common case is a mass-market brand sponsoring athletes or teams in the most popular ultra-mass sports. This is quite straightforward. Brands seek large and loyal audiences in soccer, American football, and basketball. By sponsoring Stephen Curry or Lionel Messi, brands like Pepsi, Lay's, and Subway get an impressive reach on their advertising campaigns because these athletes have a lot of fans. A huge benefit of this strategy is that athletes like Messi and Curry are so well known that they are easily recognized in every commercial, even by non-fans. As a result, such marketing campaigns promoting consumer goods like snacks, soft drinks, and hygiene products target a wide audience of everyday people, boost brand recognition, grow consumer trust, and sales. After all, it's hard to imagine a Super Bowl night without snacks and drinks. These brands have formed such strong associations that they became synonymous with certain sports, like cinema with popcorn. And Simone Biles has ongoing sponsorship deals with Visa, United Airlines, as well as with Powerade energy drink, Wheaties cereal, Nulo pet food, and other consumer goods. But she also partnered with JK Elite gymnastics apparel brand, Athletes, active women's wear brand, Spieth America gymnastics equipment manufacturer, which brings us to the second type of sponsorship deals in sport marketing, the most valuable ones. Top 10 biggest athlete sponsorships are financed by Nike, Adidas, and other sportwear brands like Puma and Under Armour. This is a pretty transparent strategy that once turned Nike from a nearly bankrupt company into the most recognizable brand with the iconic sneakers that changed NBA rules. Michael Jordan's deal with Nike remains to this day the most lucrative partnership for both the athlete and the brand, as Air Jordans are among the best-selling shoes in history, while Jordan reportedly earned over $1.3 billion from this deal. The idea is simple. These brands are trying to grow their sales. Well, eventually. Which is possible to an extent, because not everyone needs high-performance basketball shoes, and a majority of people don't really do much sport. Nike's answer was a pyramid of influence, a complete game-changer for the whole industry. For the first time ever, Nike understood that their target audience are not athletes performing at the highest level, but their fans, average people who occasionally go for a run or visit a gym couple times a week. Professional athletes are only 0.01% of Nike's consumers, but they play an important part in this value creation chain. They influence and inspire people to do more sports, or to just wear the same shoes as their beloved basketball stars. I mean, look at all the people on Instagram and TikTok trying to do a wolf turn after watching Simone Biles doing it at the Olympics. I couldn't help myself either. As I was saying, the key factor for this strategy is to find a phenomenal athlete as early as possible and make a bet on their future success. Michael Jordan was approached by Nike when he was a Chicago Bulls rookie. Simone Biles actually used to have a deal with Nike even before her first appearance at the Olympics, but she discontinued the partnership as she felt her values were aligned more closely with Athletes. Overall, this strategy is a combination of the outstanding result performed by the athlete and the wide popularity of the sport, although it is way more elaborate than the previous one. The third and the most exciting type of athlete partnerships are niche sports sponsored by luxury brands. It sounds absurd at first, because what the hell do luxury brands have to do with sweaty athletes and their beer-consuming audience? But here's the twist. Luxury brands sponsor a lot of sporting events, athletes and teams, way more than you think. In my master's thesis, I analyzed more than 150 cases of such partnerships and discovered something incredible. First, luxury brands sponsor mostly athletes and events in the sports associated with wealth and affluent lifestyle. These sports are either hobbies wealthy people enjoy or social gatherings they attend. Like golf, equestrian and sailing are very expensive sports, promising men in finance, trust fund, 6'5", doing it occasionally on weekends. While F1, Monaco Grand Prix, Roland Garros or Wimbledon traditionally attract the wealthiest celebrities, businessmen and royalty. So it makes sense for Rolex to sponsor tennis matches and Roger Federer, because they target their core audience. But there are some curious cases when luxury brands sponsor extremely popular sporting events like FIFA World Cup sponsored by Hublot or the Super Bowl sponsored by Tiffany & Co. I doubt they will convert a lot of football fans into loyal customers simply because these brands target only 1-3% of the population and the rest just can't afford it. Well, the reason is luxury brands depend heavily on the perceived status. They need the general audience to recognize not only the brand, but also its value. When everyone knows that this turquoise box is Tiffany and how crazy expensive the Tiffany ring is, it increases the perceived status and values of the brand, motivating the purchasing decision. One of my favorite cases of the luxury brand sponsoring sporting events is Omega as the official Olympic timekeeper. These guys invent quantum timers, AI systems and photo finish with insane resolution. Check out my video about it, it's fascinating. We are now witnessing a historic event. This year's Olympics in Paris are like no other, because they are sponsored by the largest luxury conglomerate LVMH. And here's how it will change the Olympics forever. The Olympics are no longer about sports. They are being rebranded as the social events like the Met Gala, or the closest example would be the Monaco Grand Prix. It's by far the least interesting race with 0 overtakes, but it's the most iconic one, because it's not about the sport but about celebrities, brands and lifestyles. And look what's happening right now. Louis Vuitton cases parade the Olympic opening ceremony. Most of the performers are dressed in Dior couture. The medals are designed by a 250-year-old jewelry house Chaumet. The hospitality is backed by Moët Chandon and Hennessy. I mean, I'm not even mentioning all the celebrities who suddenly decided they're super into sports. Anna Wintour, Ariana Grande, Tom Cruise, Snoop Dogg and the list goes on and on. All of them came specifically to support Simone Biles at the Olympics. I strongly believe that with this kind of celebrity attention and the support of the largest luxury brands, the Olympics will soon become something different. And I hope this will enable more athletes to participate and get better salaries.